powerful features of the Switchblade family is the ability to vary the gain of connections in real time using controllers. A controller used by the Switchblade can be either a MIDI control change message, usually generated by a MIDI foot controller, or by the internal auto sweep feature, which will be explained in another video. The 8F has additional controllers in the form of expression pedals you can plug directly into the 8F. In this video, I'll explain how to use the 8F controller panel when creating presets. The rack-mount switchblades have a slightly different panel layout and is explained in another video. On the control panel just to the right of the gain slider is an array of buttons, which are the controller selection buttons. The buttons labeled 0 through 7 are used when you wish to assign MIDI controller numbers 0 through 7 to any connection in a preset. These are useful if you have a foot controller that has one or more expression pedals or expression pedal jacks, which would transmit the pedal movements into MIDI control change messages. The buttons labeled A, B, and C are the three internal auto sweeps available in the 8F, which can be used to create tremolo or slow changing repeating patterns in a preset. There are two buttons labeled X and Y, which are the two expression pedal input jacks available in the 8F. The button with the dash is used to assign a fixed gain to a connection instead of a controller and was explained in an earlier video. Finally, there is a button displaying either a V for volume or P for pan, and this toggle type button is used in conjunction with any controller to assign either a volume type curve or a pan type curve to connections. For example, if you create connections to pan between amps, then you would use a pan curve. But if you want to use a controller as a volume pedal, then you would use the volume type curve. In a preset, you can assign up to 8 of the 13 available controllers to any or all of the connections. To demonstrate the use of a controller, I will create a simple preset of a guitar and 2 amps and assign expression pedal 1 to both connections using a volume curve and set the range of control from full off to full on. Before making the connections, I'll select the X button, which represents expression pedal 1 on the 8F. Whenever a controller button is pressed, instead of the fixed gain button, a second slider shows up giving you the ability to set both the start gain and the end gain of the controller sweep. For this example, I'll set the starting point at full minimum, which would be off when the expression pedal is full back, and set the end gain to 0 dB or full on when the pedal is full forward. One more thing to do. Since I want to create a volume pedal, I'll select V on the volume pan button. Now that I have everything set, the only thing left to do is create the two connections. The labels near the connections show the start gain, the end gain, and the controller that the connection is assigned to. I can test the sweep by using the test slider below the work surface labeled X. By moving the slider, I can hear the result of the assignments. I can easily change this preset to a pan preset by selecting one of the connections and reversing the starting and ending gain. In addition, I need to also change the type of curve to pan, and I can do this by toggling the volume pan button, so P is displayed on the button. I need to do this for the other connection as well. Now when I move the slider, I can hear the instrument pan between the 2 amps. The slider is useful for testing, but if you want to hear the preset using the actual expression pedal attached to the switchblade, first download the preset by dragging and dropping the preset and pressing the right button. Then press the local mode speed button. The switchblade will go into a local state and now respond to local hardware, such as the attached expression pedal. Just click on any preset to go back into remote operation.